So, the last time we met our intrepid adventurers, Naplam and Rebar, they were on a ship. As you can see, I've transferred everything over to these character sheets here. And I also have made a custom ruling that 2 food or 2 torches is equals to 1 inventory slot. And also that weapons and armor do not count in those slots. I do want to have some resource management, but I don't want to be worrying about it too much. I do have some space here for food and torches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out a few questions actually. So there's a few things that I want to know first. Firstly, we know that they came here via a boat, right? They came here via like some kind of boat. So I guess, were there any other people on this boat? So again, I'm going to be using my oracle system. Red is bad, blue is good. So if blue gets more than red, then it's a yes, otherwise it's a no. If they both get equal amounts, then basically that means that we can go from 1 to 6. So if they both get 1, 1, that's bad. If they both get 6, 6, that's good. The reason I use this is because I can use the difference, and that allows me to see degrees of success or failure. But let's see, was there anybody else with them on that boat? Oh, okay. Nobody at all, and that's a huge degree of failure. Which means that literally there was nobody else on that boat. And I think because it's such a huge degree of failure, I think what happened was that they killed everybody else on that boat. At least that's what I think. I also think that perhaps this may mean that the 7 women with the black eyes were merely a vision of some sort. I think that's safe to assume. So they killed everybody else on the boat. Where did they come from? Obviously we don't know about anything else other than the dying lands. But do they have any memory of where they came from? Like, do either of them have any memory of where they came from? Let's see. Oh, okay, so barely not. They just, one day, they just woke up with no memory, and they were on the boat. They saw this vision of these 7 women with black eyes, telling one of them, Rebar, that his debt will be cleared if he is able to find stuff in the ruins, and telling the other that his horrible curse, his huge bulge on his neck that follows him wherever he goes and that screams at him and prevents him from sleeping, that can go away too if they find out what's in the ruins in Graven-Tosk. So, my next question, how do they arrive in Sarkash? Well, do they crash? Let's see. No, they don't crash, and that's fairly big degree of like failure as well. So I think that means that they arrive safely. So they don't crash, they arrive safely on the shores of Sarkash somewhere. So they move in. And they're somehow able to get to Sarkash safely. Well, as safe as one can get in such a horrible, horrible forest. And they start making their way down. So, if they did crash, I would have asked, like, did they lose any food in the crash? Or did they lose anything else? But they didn't, so I won't ask that. What I do want to know is, what is the relationship between these 2 people? We already know that they don't really have any memory of like what happened, but do they know at least who each other are? Like, do they know who the other person is? And yeah, let's just see. Do they know? Barely. So I think what happened is this. They had some time to get acquainted, right? They know that at least Naplam knows that Rebar has some kind of debt. We don't know what the details of the depth are, but we know that it is so huge that it is nigh mystical. Like, it's just mythical even. Like, it's just this insane depth that he will never be able to repay. And it's to maybe someone really, really important. Maybe even to a god. We'll have to see. He's not willing to share that information just yet. So what does Rebar know about Naplam? I think Naplam tells him about, you know, his gigantic bulge. Does he tell him... Is Naplam secretive? Does Naplam tell him about, you know, the fact that the bulge talks to him? Let's see. 4. So as I said, if it's equal, then that just means that it's going to be a slight yes. He tells him that the bulge talks to him, but he's not convincing. Rebar doesn't believe it. Rebar, even though he's a philosopher, he's at least somewhat logical. He's like, that seems a bit far-fetched. So this is what Naplam and Rebar know about each other. Well, they're in this together now, that the woman with the black eyes have approached them. And they now have to make their way through to Graven-Tosk. How long is the journey going to be? Let's see. So they're going to go through this forest, down here, down to the ruins in Graven-Tosk. They may or may not know exactly where the ruins are. There might be a sign. We'll have to see. Actually, no, let's ask that right now. Do they know what they have to look for in Graven-Tosk? That's a yes. Okay, so they do. What is it? What do they have to look for? Let's see here. Let's use Alfred Valley's Oracle again. And we'll roll a d20. 18. A howling lamb. Dismay, premonition, and youth. That is the only vision that was given by the 7 women with black eyes. A howling lamb of some sort. So we're gonna have to remember that. Okay. So they know that they have to get to Graven-Tosk. They know that they have to find a howling lamb of some sort. Or at least that's the goal. Maybe it's a statue, maybe it's an actual howling lamb that will lead them there. Who knows? We'll see. My main question is, how long will it take for them to reach there? So a bit of background here. I'm actually going to be using Solitary Defilement. But I am also going to be using my own personal tables. So I've been writing this supplement to Solitary Defilement, and it's not complete yet, but I have a fair bit of stuff written down. I will be using the travel rules that I've written myself, and I will basically be rolling on this table every single time we find a new region. The question is, how many regions do we encounter before we get to Graven-Tosk? About how many? We don't know that, so I'm just going to make it up. So I'm going to say d6 plus 2. d6 plus 2. Sure, why not? d6 plus 2. How many stops do we essentially have to make before we can get to Graven-Tosk? Okay, 5 stops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the last one, we'll get to Graven-Tosk. Alright, so at this point, what's going to happen on the first waypoint? Okay, so this is how the travel rules work. I have some optional rules for hex crawling, but we're not going to be using that. Let me just format this better. Okay, so determine the region you're in. We know that we're in Sarkash. And we roll a d20 to determine the encounter. Then we roll the specific region's trait, feature, and discovery. So we nowhere in Sarkash, so we just need to go down here. And then we need to roll a d20 to determine what kind of encounter we find once we hop on board the shore. 14. Okay, nothing is immediately apparent. We hop on board the shore, come up here, and there doesn't seem to be anything happening yet, which is pretty lucky for us. But let's see what we actually find in this area. 8, 9, 6. 8, 9, 6. A thorny camp with a message of some kind. Okay, so we come aboard the shore, we enter Sarkash, we find this camp maybe overgrown with some kind of thorns or something, or maybe, yeah, actually let's say that it's kind of like a makeshift camp and there's like thorns all around it, maybe as a way to deter animals or as a trap or something, but there's some sort of message attached to it. What kind of message will be left for us? So previously I used the Oracle by Alfred Valley, as you can see here, but I actually have my own custom D100 Oracle. So I'm actually going to try rolling on this and see what kind of message do we find in this camp. So firstly we get a 90. That is warn. Okay, interesting. Warn what? Warn hell. Okay. So I take that to mean that is some kind of religious warning. The camp maybe was filled with cultists. Do we find any dead bodies there? Do we find any dead cultists there, rather? Let's see. Yes, we do, but it's a very weak hit. So maybe we just find one. We find the body of one dead cultist surrounded by a bunch of blood. Looks like a ritual has taken place in this camp of sorts. Some kind of ritual to some kind of elder god or something. Very strange. Do we find anything else there? I think at this point I'm gonna see whether we can find anything on the cultist himself actually. So what I'm going to do is we're gonna do some corpse plundering. Do we find anything on this particular body? Let's see. 56. Interesting. So what we find on the body is 2 weighted dice. 2 weighted dice. I think on the body of a cultist, this might have some sort of mystical meaning perhaps. This is perhaps some sort of oracle. Maybe it's a good luck charm. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just something that they use to pass time. But I think we're going to actually take note of this. We're actually going to write this down. So I think Rebar, being the philosopher that he is, he's interested. He's read stuff before. Maybe he knows about the significance of this kind of thing. And he takes these 2 weighted dice. So what is actually on the dice? Is it just numbers? I think that's highly unlikely. So we're gonna roll my 2d6, but we're going to also add another die into the roll. And this die is going to shift it slightly. So we're gonna roll the 2d6. We're gonna roll one more. And as you can see, there's a 5 and a 4. And 5 beats 4, of course. So normally it will just be numbers on it. But because of the fact that we have an additional die, the one on the left there, it slides the probability more towards the negative. Because I thought it will be unlikely for it to just be numbers. And like I said, if it's equal, 5, 5, then it will actually just be the likely scenario. But in this case, we are moving towards unlikely. So basically what that means is that I would say that there's something written on these dice. Let's see. What could possibly be on this dice? So I'll be going back and forth between the oracles. In this case, I think I want something a bit more concrete. So I'm actually going to be using Alfred Valley's oracle again. Let's see what's on here. That's very interesting. Okay, so with the twin, we find something. We find on the dice some kind of drawings of some kind of fetus. And the dice, I think what we're gonna say is the dice are actually chained together, chained together. So I'm gonna write that down, chained together. And these two dice kind of have like the faces of some kind of fetuses on them. And we don't know what the significance of this is yet. But I don't think we're gonna try rolling them yet. I think we're going to save it maybe for later. Maybe it has some sort of extra significance to it. We don't know yet. But all we know is that we found some kind of ritualistic suicide or murder or sacrifice. And on the body of one of the cultists was two weighted dice that kind of looks like it has like inscriptions of baby faces on it and is chained together. So we don't know what to make of that yet, but I think we're going to be moving on for now. So we can cross that out. And I think at this point, after each region, we're actually going to be using Solitary Defilement's traveling rules. At least the camping portion of it. Let me find this, give me a sec. There you go. So, I forgot to do something else actually. I forgot to roll the weather. Let's do that right now. I forgot to do that. Let's see. What is the weather like today? 6 is dead quiet. Okay. Fairly simple. Can we camp, at least for the night? Should we camp at the horrible site of murder? I don't think we will. I think we'll actually camp slightly outside of that, maybe. I think we'll do that instead. So we'll be doing a camping move, okay? And we'll be seeing whether we can camp or not. We're gonna be using the best person for the job, who is actually Naplam. So Naplam maybe has some experience with the wilderness, and he can actually use his presence to try to do a camping move. So we're gonna be rolling 2d20. And we get a weak hit. So that means that we gain d4 HP, which we already have full HP, that's fine. If sleeping, restore 1 omen and 1 power, and use up 1 ration. Introduce a reason for a restless night or interruption. I think we're back on this strange land, having been on a boat with no memory of where we came from. We have memories of this land, and we just have nightmares. I think we just have nightmares of... Both of these people have nightmares of the ladies with the black eyes. I think that Rebar has nightmares about his debt. And Naplam... I take that back. I don't think Naplam is able to sleep at all. I think the bulge on his neck talks to him. Talks to him about the woman with the black eyes, and he's unable to sleep properly. He's at least able to close his eyes and get a bit of rest, but not much at all. Their food is gonna go down by 1 each. And I just realized that Rebar has basically no food. The question is, will Naplam be willing to share with Rebar some food? We'll see. Actually, let's ask the Oracle. Are they willing? No, he's not willing. Just barely. I think Naplam thinks about it. He's like, nah. You can find your own food. And I think Rebar just has to settle with that. He has no food left. At least for now. I think it's a low enough failure that Naplam agrees that the next day they can go hunting. And I think they're going to go hunting for some game. And I think he agrees that the game that they capture and the food that they get, Rebar can have. But he's not willing to share his own with Rebar. Okay. So that's it. Our camping move for the day is done. And we'll move on to the next day. So, like I said, the next day we're going hunting, right? So, hunting has its own specific set of rules in BORG, specifically in Territory, right? So, I believe in Solitary Defilement, there's a resupply, so you can roll foraging on Territory. So I think we're going to be rolling foraging, but we're also going to be using my my region randomizer stuff. So we're going to be rolling the Territory hunting, which is going to be here, foraging, sorry. Alright, let's do this. So the next day, because we don't have much food left, we decided, okay, we're gonna spend the day foraging, maybe trying to find some rations. Let's see if we can find anything. 4. You track down a savage beast. Killing it nets D8 plus 2 rations. Or see Eat, Pray, Kill, page 8. Okay. So, what kind of beast do we find in Sarkash? A savage beast, eh? Okay, let's see. 2. We find a Dredgehog. A Dredgehog, kind of like a hedgehog, except it's kind of fucked up. It has daggers on its back, which may be why it trusts no one, and when provoked will roll up into a big ball of murder. It has 14 HP, 10 morale, and holy shit it is, goddamn. Oh my god. That it's armored as fuck. It's minus D6 armor and it's got D6 attack. It can kill, it can potentially kill Rebar in one hit. Missing an attack against them means you strike a dagger and suffer D4 damage. Are we gonna take a chance and possibly die against the first enemy that we find? I'm not too sure about that. But we do need food. And the Dredgehog, even though it has daggers on its back, beneath it is meat aplenty, so... I think we're gonna try. And for this, I'm going to say... do we see it first or does it see us first? So like I said, I have a series of rules that I've written up. And amongst those rules is rules for encountering enemies. So if you see an enemy, that doesn't necessarily mean the enemy has seen you. Do a TR agility move. This is for dungeons, but we can just figure out something here. Let's say... let's just give you a TR of 12. So, TR is threat rating. Let's say 12, and let's see, is it alerted? Is it like preoccupied or is it alerted in some way? I hope not. Like, I think it's unlikely that it is. Because if it's alerted, that means something is hunting it or it's hunting something. So I'm gonna roll that and that. Okay, so that's... Okay, so that's basically 6-6. And I always lean towards the more likely one, so in this case, It is not alerted. So it's TR minus 3. So that's going to be 9. Okay. So we're gonna have to roll 2d20. Oh my god. Wait, who... agility move. Okay, who was the guy with the highest agility? I should have checked that first. Oh no. Agility plus 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8. Okay, so Rebar tries to go for it, especially since he's the one who needs the food. He tries to take the Dredgehog by surprise. But the Dredgehog suspects something. It is now alerted. If I choose to fight, I have to roll initiative. I can retreat, which will mean I automatically succeed. But at this point, I think we really need the food, and I think we're gonna go for it. So we're gonna have to roll initiative and see who beats who. Let's see. There's going to be a 2. According to the BORG rules reference, that means that the enemies begin first. That's not good. Given that, yeah, that's not good at all. Given that Rebar was sneaking up on this Dredgehog, I think he's gonna get hit first, and he might get killed immediately. So, we'll see. Does Rebar get killed fucking immediately? We'll see. So, first thing he has to do is he has to roll agility to be able to dodge the Dredgehog, who charges at him. He fails! Okay. So Rebar fails to dodge the Dredgehog. The Dredgehog basically rolls into a ball and slams right into Rebar. How much damage does it do? 3 damage. How much damage do I block? I have fur armor, so that's going to be, I'm going to say a d4, and if it's 1 to 2, it's 1, 3 to 4 is 2. Okay, I am very lucky. I take 1 damage. It is now our turn to do damage. Naplam, having seen this, kind of snorts a bit, comes in with his Zweihander, and let's see whether he hits or not. He does not hit. He does not hit at all. Yeah. Good job, Naplam. Let's see if Rebar hits. Rebar does hit. With how much damage? D4. Okay. Unfortunately, the Dredgehog has D6 armor, but he hits with D4. Let's see how much damage that is. There's 4 damage. and the Dredgehog blocks all of it. This might not be a great idea. This might have just been a disastrous idea. Rolling initiative for the next round. Who goes first? We go first. Okay, I think we're still gonna go for it. So Naplam swings with his Zweihander again, kind of like a bit flustered. You know what? No, I don't think he's gonna do that. I don't think he's gonna do that. I think he's gonna be using the Shoe of Death's Horse. Again, Shoe of Death's Horse is a DR10 to hit. It's D4 damage, but it's a 1 in 6 chance of outright killing the Dredgehog. He's gonna test his luck. How much strength does he have? He has 0 strength. He barely misses with the shoe. Just barely. Just grazes the Dredgehog. He's useless. Rebar? What do you have? Rebar also is useless. Oh no. This is bad. The Dredgehog is angry now at this point. The Dredgehog rolls up again. And let's see who it targets. 1 to 3 is Naplam. 4 to 6 is Rebar. It sees that Rebar has been weakened slightly and goes again for Rebar. Rebar's gonna fucking die. Unless he dodges this. He does! He dodges out of the way of the big ball of daggers, basically. I think at this point, Rebar and Naplam are rethinking their approach, and they might just back off. Rerolling for initiative. They go again. Naplam is like, oh my god, this is your fault. Just blaming Rebar for no particular reason. I guess Rebar needed food, so... But Naplam didn't want to share, so I think they both have a bit of the burden. I think he's just gonna swing again. I think his pride won't let him stop. He's gonna swing again. He needs to hit at least once, right? Okay, he finally hits with the Shoe of Death's horse. How much damage does he do? And more importantly, does he kill it outright? He does 1 damage. That's not gonna damage the Dredgehog. The Dredgehog has D6 armor that's gonna automatically block. But the more important question is, does he get a 1 in a 1 in 6 roll? He does not. He does nothing. Again. Our heroes are proving to be quite ineffectual. I think at this point, if they're not able to put a dent in the Dredgehog, which they've not been able to so far, they are gonna make a run for it. So Rebar now thinks for a bit and decides to do a risky move. Actually no, I was gonna make him use thorns to pierce his flesh and perceive all. You know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that yet. I think Rebar, having seen this, is gonna make one last attempt to strike down this Dredgehog. And he misses. God damn. Okay. Rolling initiative. They're gonna run on this turn. They're gonna run away. They're gonna run away. And we're gonna see if Naplam is actually gonna share anything with Rebar. It's their turn. They make a run for it. So we're gonna check Solitary Defilement fleeing rules. DR11 plus number of enemies, which is a DR12 with D20. 2D20. Okay. Strong hit, successful evasion. They run away with their tail between their legs, with their pride more than slightly hurt. They do not get any food that day at all. And in fact, let's see what the weather is like, because I forgot to do that again. Whoops. I need to remember to do that. Let's see. What is the weather like today? 10 is an irritating drizzle. So not only did they not catch anything, and they are running low on food, they are extremely irritated and at each other, right? Like, I think Rebar is like, you should have just shared the food with me, and Naplam is like, you should have hit better, even though he didn't hit at all either. But yeah, I think what's gonna happen is that Naplam is going to grudgingly share some food with Rebar, and he's going to actually not eat that night. So Rebar is going to, they're both going to attempt to rest, but they do not move from the location that they were in originally, unfortunately. So they're gonna rest that night. Let's see how that goes. So they're gonna do a camping move, and we're gonna go with, yeah, okay. Let's just go with a DR12 presence. Wait, let me see. Actually, I should, you know what I should be doing? I should be doing a presence check for both of them. Yeah, that's my mistake. Let's do that from now on. So let's do a presence check for both of them. Let's do a DR12 presence for... Okay. So... yeah. Rebar is... I'm sorry, Naplam is unable to sleep at all. How about Rebar? Rebar is able to sleep some. So he's able to do a weak hit. D4, sleeping, restore 1 omen and 1 power, use 1 ration. That's it, I should have used an omen back there. That's something that I forgot as well. It was my mistake. I should have used an omen and re-rolled some of that. I think we really needed those rations. It would have been worth it, and I could have refilled it. Unfortunately, after that disastrous combat, I think something even worse happens. So, failure, no sleep for you, something terrible is about to happen. The next attempt at resting after resolving whatever encounters ensues will be a 50-50 chance of either a strong or weak hit. So, Naplam is unable to sleep. Not only that, something happens to him. What is that something? Is it a creature? Is it a horrible, horrible nightmare that gives him psychosomatism? Well, let's ask the obvious question here. Is it a creature? Yeah, it's a creature. So like I said, if they're equal, that means I'm just gonna use 1 to 6. If it's 6, it means yes, very, very much so. In fact, it's the Dredgehog. So, picture this. Naplam and Rebar have just run away from this creature. And now it's back. It's thirsting for their blood. This Dredgehog with daggers on his back. So what happens is, something terrible happens, and what the terrible thing is that they don't even get to roll for initiative. It happened to Naplam. So what happens is, he doesn't get to roll. He immediately feels a stinging sensation in the core of his stomach as a bunch of daggers slice into him. Also, hello! Welcome to the stream. We're gonna see if he survives this. He will, but let's see how badly he gets hurt. Holy shit! Oh Jesus, that's do I use my omens and reroll that? That's really bad. Okay, I'm gonna see how much I can deflect off this. How much? Oh Jesus, that's really, really fucking bad. That's 5 damage, actually. I'm gonna use my omens. I'm gonna deduct d6 damage from that roll. Oh, thank God. Okay, he doesn't get any damage. Somehow, through some kind of miracle, all the damage is blocked. Maybe it was armor, maybe it was something else, maybe he instinctively moved out of the way fast enough, but he didn't get hurt. Also, whether the Dredgehog is animal, vegetable, or mineral, I have no idea, but it has daggers and it has meat. And that meat is gonna be useful because they need food. So he somehow is able to dodge out of the way or something. He yells out, Jesus Christ! Oh, wait, he doesn't yell out Jesus. I don't think Jesus even exists in BORG. He yells out something, like, Verhu! Verhu's balls or something, I don't know. And Rebar wakes up, and they both basically see this Dredgehog, this small Dredgehog, just barreling towards one of them. I don't know who yet, but I think we're gonna roll for initiative right now, and I think we need to kill this thing. So I'm going to reduce my omen because I just used it. We're gonna have to reroll. See, okay. After that surprise attack, we're able to get our bearings, and Naplam reaches for his Y-hander and swings down on the Dredgehog. And this time he's not fucking around. He is going to use his omen to try to kill this thing if necessary. And so is Rebar. I think they need to. So he's gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna check first. What can you do with an omen again? You can do deal maximum damage with 1 attack, reroll a dice roll, lower damage, neutralize a crit or fumble, lower 1 test DR by -4. he is gonna swing, and if he does hit, he's going to deal maximum damage with his 1 omen, even though he can only heal up 1 omen the next day. I think he's like desperate, so he's gonna try to swing for it. Shit! Okay, he misses. He misses, and even if I lowered it, he wouldn't have hit, so he wildly swings his huge Zweihander and just misses completely. Rebar scrambles for his sickle and swings at him as well. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is for this attack, I'm going to lower the difficulty by how much? By -4. So it's going to be 8 difficulty. So I have to roll a 7 or higher because I have a strength of 1. 7 or higher. Holy shit! Oh my god. Okay, he does double damage. He does double damage. Does double damage. So let me see. I believe double damage. I believe crits are just double damage. You don't have to roll twice. Let me just make sure of that. Double damage, armor protection. Wait, no, that's not it. Oh, it's armor protection. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. So, okay. So we deal double damage. I hope I roll a 4. I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2. Okay, we rolled a 2. That's 4 damage. How much? You know what? No. I used an omen to reduce the difficulty, right? I'm gonna use an... No, I'm not. No, I'm not yet. I'm not gonna use 2 omens. Am I? Am I gonna use 2 omens? I'm gonna use 2 omens. So I'm gonna use 2 omens, and I'm actually going to deal maximum damage, which will be 8 damage. 8 damage minus d6. So if he rolls a 6, I'm fucked still. Oh my god. That's 3 damage. For how much? Oh Jesus. Wait, what? He has 14 health? Okay, I think we're just realizing this now as well. Most of these critters have 1 HP. This guy has 14. That's almost as bad as a bear. This is one of the strongest creatures. This might be the strongest creature that we could possibly face, actually. Oh my god. I think we realized this. He has 11 HP now, he's barely hurt. Rebar screams at Naplam. We have to run right now! As he says that, the Dredgehog runs at one of them, or well, rolls at one of them, and it's going to be Naplam. We miscalculated everything, oh my god, you're right. It rolls right at Naplam, and Naplam, seeing this horrible thing occur, this small ball of murder just barreling at him, and he's like frozen in terror. Can he make it out of this? He barely dodges out of the way, and he's like, Jesus Christ, initiative. I think they're both too shocked at this. I think they're both too shocked at the fact that they basically are fighting something that is worse than a bear. Barely hurt. Nice. Okay, so I think they're too shocked, and the Dredgehog has initiative. And oh wait, sorry, I wanted to roll who gets hit. So in Naplam gets hit again. Can he dodge it again? He dodges it again. Naplam says, "No, we have to kill this thing." And Rebar is like, "Are you fucking insane? I just sliced right through this thing, and it's not even hurt. I'm running." So Rebar turns around and runs. Does Naplam follow him? Yes, very much yes. So Naplam was just saying that just so that he could, you know, just so he could look cool. He's scared as shit. Naplam runs after Rebar. Can they flee? That's the question. DR12 agility. I'm gonna say we use the guy with the least agility. Okay, my question is, who is he aiming for? Is he aiming for Naplam or Rebar? I think he's aiming for Naplam right now because he's been trying to attack Naplam for 2 turns in a row. I think that we're gonna have to use Naplam's 0 agility for this. So we'll see whether they can flee from combat with 0 agility. At least let's see whether Naplam can do it or not. Actually no, let's do it for both of them. Let's do it for both of them. So DR12 for both of them. Let's see. That's not good. That's really not good. That's really, really not good for Naplam. Let's see for Rebar. That's really good for Rebar. Rebar runs off into the woods and watches from a safe distance away. Naplam trips over something. He trips over his goddamn feet. I don't know. Yeah, let's go with that. He trips over his goddamn feet. And the fucking Dredgehog is on top of him. He just rolls on top of him. Can he roll away in time? No, he cannot. He does dodge, he does protect against all of the damage, but he's being incredibly lucky right now because the Dredgehog just dealt him the minimum amount of damage. Yeah. You know what? You know what? Is Rebar gonna come back in to help Naplam? Is Rebar gonna try to help Naplam escape? I think Rebar is going to, not because of any goodwill or any like kindness. I think he's just like, fuck my debt. I need this guy alive. If not, he's gonna be. I need this guy alive. We need to go to the ruins. I need this guy alive. He's gonna try to help Naplam out of it. So I think Rebar is gonna try to distract the Dredgehog, and at the same time, Naplam is gonna try to escape. So I'm going to give it a DR9, maybe a DR9 of trying to escape. But first, we're gonna roll initiative. Does Dredgehog get one more attack? Let's hope not. I think that means it. I think that means it does. Yeah, it does. The Dredgehog. Okay, the Dredgehog, seeing Rebar come back, takes this as a sign of a threat, and rolls right at him as well. This goddamn like ball of daggers is just rolling around everywhere, and he's just gonna roll at Rebar, and Rebar is gonna try to dodge it. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. That's a 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. And that's not gonna do it. Let's see how much damage it takes. Oh. 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 Is that... Oh my god. Okay. Rebar. Okay, oh wait, no that's not. Wait, what am I doing? Okay. He has 1 health left. Rebar comes back to help, and the Dredgehog just barrels into his chest. And this time the daggers go through the fur armor. In fact, if it was not for the fur armor, he will be dead right now. Absolutely fucking dead. I could use the omens right now, but I think we need them for later. And I think we're gonna be able to escape this time. I think we're gonna be able to escape. Do I want to risk it? He's so close to dying. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. So Naplam basically sees this. He's like, holy shit! Holy shit, this this stranger basically just came back for me and almost died on my count. So Naplam being... he's a horrible guy, but he has a sense of honor. So Naplam basically tries to grab Rebar and they try to make a run for it. We already knew that Rebar was able to escape previously. We have to roll again this time. He's like badly injured. I think Naplam and him both have to escape this time. But given that this is yet another time that they're escaping from this Dredgehog, I'm gonna take it easy on myself. Actually, I'm not gonna take it easy on myself. I'm gonna use my omens. Both of these guys, they have to escape right now or they're fucking dead. So I'm gonna use my omens for both these guys. I'm gonna run. And that's gonna reduce it by 4. Which means that I have to hit a DR8 on both of them. 8 or above for Naplam, there's more than half chance. 6 or above for Rebar, there's almost like 3/4 chance. We should be able to do this, right? We should be able to do this. Let's see. Naplam, can he escape? If he can't escape, he's still kinda okay. But it'll be really kinda... What the fuck? Wait, what? Oh my god. Wait, no, that's a weak hit, right? Oh, that's a weak hit, okay. Okay. So Naplam rolls to escape. He rolls to escape. He tries to escape. The Dredgehog basically does one last attack at him. He basically tries to dodge it without looking, and he is able to do it just by luck, and he gets away unharmed. He tries to drag Rebar along with him as well. He's like, Rebar, get over here! And Rebar barrels after him, running away from this small little like ball of daggers. This is like the main villain of our story at this point. And Rebar has to roll a 6 or above. He has to. If he doesn't, he's dead, probably. Almost definitely, actually. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, yeah, he does it. Okay, god damn, thank you. Thank god, okay. They escape together. And it's horrible. Rebar is like bleeding like crazy. It's just horrible bleeding from his chest, and is really bad. Naplam feels really guilty about this. I think Rebar did it for selfish reasons, but Naplam is either too stupid or too naive. He doesn't think that. He thinks that Rebar did it out of the goodwill and kindness of his heart. So I think this strengthens their bond, or at least it strengthens Naplam's bond with Rebar. And Naplam gives Rebar some of his rations, at least for the night. He only has 2 left, so Rebar is gonna try to eat the rations and just rest again. And let's see if he is successful in doing so. There's a 50-50 chance of a strong or weak hit, right? So we'll just do a d6. Go Rebar, go, yeah. So it's gonna be a strong hit. Because I was gonna, sorry, I should have said beforehand. 1 to 3 will have been a strong hit, 4 to 6 will be a weak hit. So he gets a strong hit, which means d6 HP, which is very good. And I can reroll my omens, restore my powers, and use 1 ration. Okay, that's very good. How much do I heal? 5! That's good, that's very good. I think, like, after he eats, he's he kind of bandages him up with like some loose leaves or something, and he eats the rations, and he rerolls his omens. So let's actually see how many we get. 3, okay, that's good. He rerolls his omens. I think Naplam doesn't sleep for the night. I think Naplam keeps watch to make sure nothing happens. I think Naplam is slowly beginning to think, I could be good friends with this guy. Have we defeated the creature? I don't think we even damaged him for 1 HP, Masked. I think we got fucked. I believe we got owned. I believe we just got fucked over by a hedgehog, basically. Yeah. I can't believe the villain of our story is a fucking hedgehog. Well, we're gonna die. I hope it's not hunting us. Anyway, Naplam basically keeps watch, and the night goes uneventfully. Okay. Fine. He doesn't get to roll his omens. Fine, whatever. It's all good. Jesus, that was horrifying. Okay, that was painful. I think what happens next is so they're currently here, right? They're currently here. But I think yeah, you know what? I think they're gonna press their luck. They need to eat. So the next day they wake up, let's see what the weather is like, and they're just gonna try to get food one more goddamn time. Please, just give me some food. Please. Like, they don't have much left. There's piercing wind. It's cold, it's freezing, it's just this strong piercing wind, and they just want food. Please, God, give us some food. This is starting to feel like my other solo playthrough, but anyway, that's a different story. Do they find it? Let's see. Let's see if they find this food that they so desire. What happens when they try foraging? Give us the noms. Yes, that's right. Not again. Not a no. No. Why? Okay, so we got track down a savage beast, killing it nets D8 plus 2 rations. We have to see what kind of monster we run into this time. Knowing our luck, it will be a bear or the hedgehog or something. Alright, I'm gonna roll it. I'm so scared. Oh, thank God. Okay. Thank God. We're going through the terrain. We're walking through. And I think the last time I forgot to do this. But I said I was gonna use the traveling rules in my custom rule set. So I'm actually gonna see where we find these squirrels. We find some squirrels. We find them in, let's see here. Oops, wrong. We find them in a thorny grove. Okay, we find them in some kind of grove. And we find these mulch squirrels. They eat dirt and they taste about the same as dirt as well. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that. Let me zoom in on that. So we find these mulch squirrels and we breathe a sigh of relief. We look around, we're like, is the Dredgehog anywhere around here? And he's nowhere to be found. So we just see these mulch squirrels basically. How many of them are there? D4. Okay. Oh no! There's 4 of them. Okay. I know they're just squirrels, but we almost got killed by a hedgehog. So I mean, you know. So they only have 1 HP. It's fine. It's fine. There's 4 squirrels, 1 HP each. Morale 3, bite claws 1 damage. Okay, yeah, it's fine. We're good. We're just gonna try to kill them. Please, God, let me kill them. Please let me eat. So we got 4 squirrels. We're gonna try to ambush them, and I think we're gonna try to scare them off. Actually, we're gonna scare off all but maybe like 2 or 3 of them. Let's see if can we scare off at least 1. Actually, do we need to scare them off? No, they're way weaker than the hedgehog. It should be fine. They're just squirrels. What am I talking about? It's fine. I got the worst luck. I know. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use my custom rule set for encountering enemies. We're gonna see okay, so there's 12. Let's see. Let's just do a 12 agility move and see what happens. Oh yeah, we need to see if they're preoccupied or not. And I'm gonna say it's unlikely again. So there's gonna be. Yep, they're not occupied. They're not alerted. Sorry. So there's gonna be 9. So we're gonna have to reach a 9 or more on sorry, an 8 or more because we have a presence of +1. Okay, got it. Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, so what happens is, yeah, so my luck is the worst. I don't even want to say. So anyway, we go up on these squirrels, and it turns out they are like really alert squirrels or something, and they immediately see us. In fact, they're out for blood. I'm just gonna say, it says here roll is reaction, but these are wild creatures. So actually I'm just gonna roll his reaction. Let's see, what do they think of us when they see us? They see us creeping up on them. What do they think? Okay, so we creep up on these squirrels. Please look at the reaction table. We just got 3 on the reaction table, which is kill. So we creep up on these squirrels. They turn around. Their eyes are bloodshot. They haven't been eating. In fact, they're so hungry that they want to eat each other, but they haven't been able to find prey weak enough for them to kill, to eat. It says here that they eat dirt. I think they're tired of eating dirt. So, you know what? Yeah, I think they're tired of eating dirt. I think they want to eat human flesh. So they're just gonna attack us immediately, all of them. Wait, I just realized something. Their bite claws do 1 damage. But that doesn't go through my armor. We have armor. Both of us have armor. They can't kill us. We're good. So what happens is, they all leap at us, but are unable to bite through our fur armor and our padded cloth armor. And I think, if we're lucky, we can kill all of them before their morale. I think what happens is that all of them have to roll morale now, because they realize they cannot win this fight. Are they smart enough to know that they can't win this fight? We'll see. Let's see. I'm gonna check to see how many of them just outright flee. That's gonna be... Okay. Wait, is that right? Holy shit. Oh yeah, the morale is 3. Okay, so basically all of them figure out that, oh, we can't win this fight. So since they got the first move, some of them are gonna flee and some of them are gonna surrender. The ones that surrender, basically they're dead. They're food. So every 4 to 6 that I get, I'm gonna roll it 4 times. Every 4 to 6 that I get is 1 free meal. Okay? Okay. Oh my god, Okay, we got 1. Can we chase after the other squirrels? This is like pathetic. Like, can we chase after the other squirrels? We got 1 squirrel, so we slaughter it and we have dinner for the night. But I don't think it's gonna give us much food. Oh god, that's not gonna give us much food. I mean, it says up here that like if you kill a savage creature, you get D8 plus 2 rations. But that's a fucking squirrel. Free meal, yeah, but like that's like what, 2 rations? No, I'm gonna chase after. We're gonna chase after the rest of them. So I think what happens is that they're gonna scatter around in all directions, and we're going to each try to do an agility roll and see whether we can catch 1 of them. Please, just 1. So we're not gonna do a move. We're just gonna do an agility roll, and we're gonna see whether we can even catch 1 of these goddamn assholes. Oh my god. Let's see. This is terrible. This is going terribly. Okay, so agility roll for Naplam. Can he catch 1 squirrel? Yes! Okay, so that's another 2 rations. And for just a plus 2. No, he can't, barely. He almost catches 1, but it goes free. So when all is said and done, oh hello Lobster Chung, welcome to the stream. when all is said and done, each of them gets 2 rations. Okay, so that's enough for at least a bit. And then they have to move on. They have to move on. They can't just keep doing this. They have to move on. Oh my god, it's such a struggle to even survive. Okay, so at the end of the day, they camp down. And I think what's gonna happen is yeah, they're just gonna do a camping move. Both of them are gonna do a camping move. We're gonna see what happens. Camping. Like I said, we're gonna do a camping move for both of them, so we'll see what happens. Weak hit for Naplam. And that's gonna be that's presence, right? Oh my god. Okay, so that's a weak hit for Naplam. But okay, wait, let's figure that out first. There's 1 omen and 1 power. Okay, so that's 1 omen and 1 power. He doesn't have any power, so that's fine. As for the food, that's gone. As for okay, so fail. Rebar tries to sleep, but is woken up by something. It better not be that fucking Dredgehog. If it's the Dredgehog again, because we are still in his territory, remember that. We're still in the Dredgehog territory. Is it the Dredgehog? I'm gonna say it's unlikely because I don't want to get fucked over. Actually, it's probably like a 50-50 chance, right? Like, it's probably a Dredgehog. Like, let's be honest, it's probably the Dredgehog. Let's see, is it the Dredgehog? 50-50 chance. Oh, thank fucking god, it's not a Dredgehog. So he gets woken up by something else. Oh god, I'm so relieved. He gets woken up by something else. I think we're gonna use my reveal a danger here. I think there's... Wait, no, I don't think we need to use this. I think we'll do... Yeah, we'll try to figure out something else because this is for dungeon exploration, I forgot. So instead of that, there's something else that happens during their camping. What is it? I'm gonna say it's very simple. I'm gonna say that Rebar's wounds that were bandaged up start leaking again a bit. So he gets D2 damage. How much damage does he get? He just suffers 1 damage. But he'll heal it up over... Actually, no. I should do D4 because he'll heal up D2 damage immediately. So we'll do D4 damage. But that's way too much. D4 minus 1 damage. Yeah, let's do that. So that's 2 damage. Okay, so that's 3 out of 5. I think his wounds start leaking out and he can't really sleep. He's gonna try to sleep again. And it's gonna be a 50-50 between a strong hit and a weak hit for camping and resting. So we're going to do, yeah, we're gonna do a strong hit, weak hit. See, 1 to 3 is gonna be a strong hit. 4 to 6 is a weak hit. It's a strong hit. He gains D6 HP. Okay, so he goes back up to full. He's gonna restore his what? Restore powers. Use 1 ration, and he's going to reroll his omens. I believe, yeah, they're just gonna reroll the omens, I guess. He has 1 omen. Let me just check the rules real quick. I just want to make sure that like the omens are rerolled and not added to. When depleted, roll the class's designated die and regain that mini omens. Yeah, okay, so I basically regain them, so it's basically I get 4. There you go. Okay, we're good. The next day, we run the fuck away. We just run. I'm sorry. There's no way I'm dealing with this fucking Dredgehog anymore. I've had it. Rebar's had it. Naplam's had it. I think Naplam and Rebar are stronger friends now because they almost died together. Especially Naplam in regards to Rebar because Rebar came back for him and almost died in the process. Like really almost died in the process. He had 1 HP. So I'm gonna say they just run for it on the break of dawn. But we're gonna have to check. What's our weather looking like? Let's see. We have hammering rain. So is this really terrible downpour of rain just coming down on them, and they're just feeling horrible, and they're just running through the forest, and they're just like, oh god, why? And they reach the next waypoint. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna see what happens in the next waypoint. Let's see here. Okay, travel. Let's see. D20. What did they get? 11. Oh, nothing immediately apparent. Oh, thank god. Okay. Nothing immediately apparent. If it was a 1 to 9, something happened, but luckily there's nothing happening. Thankfully. I'm happy about that. But what is the area that they go into? They find themselves in a thorny again. Getting a lot of 8s. River. So a river surrounded by thorns. And their discovery is a nest. Maybe the nest is made of thorns. Maybe the nest is in the river. Let's say a nest by a river. Are there any monsters in the nest? Any baby monsters? We know that there are no... Yeah, so here's the thing, right? We know that there are no regular monsters, like at least active around. But there may be babies in there that we may be able to... This sounds terrible, but we may be able to use them for food. Like baby monsters, I mean, not humans. I want to make that clear. So, we're not cannibals. Oh god. So, what kind of... Do we have any creatures in the nest? I'd say that's likely. Let's see here. Yep, we do. Okay, we have a bunch of creatures. Let's say... So I'm gonna roll on a D... Actually, no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll on the Ferritory Sarkash. I'm gonna roll a D6 and re-roll on bear, because I don't think bears are gonna be in nest. Actually, I don't think any of these are gonna... Yeah, let's just roll a D6. If there's a bear, we just say it's like a habitat for the bear. Right? So, let's roll a D6. Let's see what happens. So we find a baby... What? We find a bird. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We find a throat-cutting warbler. And we find like babies inside. So they're basically, you know, harmless. Or at least we think they're harmless. But I just realized that their beaks do D10 damage. That can kill both of us outright if we didn't have armor. So I'm gonna say that we're gonna try to grab these birds as food. We're gonna just try to kill them while they're resting in the nest. I'm gonna say that this is pretty easy to do since they are babies. If we succeed, how much food do we get? I'm gonna say it's a D6. Okay, we get 4 rations if we succeed. 4 rations. If we don't succeed, what happens? One of us gets damaged by, I think, D10 divided by 2. I think that makes sense. Because they're babies, right? So, I think regardless of what happens, we're still gonna be able to kill the babies and get the food. But, yeah, we might get damaged along the way. So we'll see. Who's gonna do it? One of us is gonna try to do it. I'm gonna say the person with more agility is gonna try to do it. So Rebar is gonna... Actually, no. I think Rebar volunteers, but Naplam is like, please, no. I think, forgive me for saying this, Rebar, but you're kind of a bit more fragile than I am. I've been weathered by war. Please, let me do this. And he tries to go for it. He's gonna be using his agility and trying to just stab through with his Y. Well, slash through, I don't know. And let's see if he does it. So I'm gonna actually do a move. So I'm gonna do 2d20 and we're gonna see which one goes above agility. And we're gonna see if it's a weak hit. Okay, let's say it like this. If it's a strong hit, he gets the rations. D6 rations, I think I said, right? Yeah, I think I said D6 rations. If he gets a strong hit, he gets D6 rations. If he gets a weak hit, he gets the rations, but he gets damaged for D10 divided by 5. If he gets a failure, he just gets damaged. So let's pray. No, actually, I think regardless, he's gonna... I know what happens. If he fails, something else happens that I'm not gonna reveal yet, but something else happens. So let's see what happens. Does he get the food? Finally, some luck. He cleaves through the nest, and he's able to kill the birds and get some food for them. How much food is he able to get? D6. Please, please be some good food. No! Oh my god. He cleaves through them, but it turns out there was only one bird in the goddamn nest. From the shadows and from the bristles in the nest, it looked like there were more, but it's just one bird. Essentially, all they got was one ration. That's not good. At this point, he realizes something. If the nest is here, the parent mustn't be far away. So if I got a failure on that, I would have said that the parent came swooping in and they had to fight it. But luckily I didn't, so they're able to move on before anything else happens. But that was a waste. They just got D6 out of that. And they got 1. Like, oh my god, that's really bad rolls. Oh well, that's how it goes. So they move on, and I think they're gonna move on from here as well. So they're just gonna keep on moving, but first they're gonna camp for the night in the hammering rain. So let's look at the camping rules again. Okay, so they're both gonna do a D20, 2D20 roll on their presence, I think. Yeah, presence. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, so a weak hit for Naplam, not so bad. Okay. These are some bad rolls. So let's settle Naplam first. So Naplam is able to get his omen back. He's able to get his omen back, and he's reduces by 1 food. But Rebar can't sleep at all. Can't sleep at all. And then he hears something. This horrible fucking sound. This shrill bird screech. And he looks up. And he sees the mother of the throat-cutting warbler that they just killed. Luckily, he has 1 HP. So it's gonna be free food for them, hopefully. Unless it hits first. And since I said this is a bad event, I'm gonna let it hit first. And then since I said it happened to Rebar, he's gonna get the brunt of it first. In other words, he might die right now, again, so that's great. Let's see if he dodges it. He does not dodge the D10 damage coming his way. I'm gonna roll the D10. Oh, thank god. Okay, I got 2 out of a 10. Okay, so I got 2 damage. That's gonna be blocked by... Okay, that's completely blocked. Okay, good. He screams again, and like, Naplam wakes up again. He's like, is it a fucking Dredgehog again? And Rebar is like, no, it's the mother of the... Look, just kill it, alright? And then they both swing at it. So we have to roll initiative at this point. I think, regardless, Naplam is gonna step in front of Rebar because Rebar is going to die if he takes that damage. So we're gonna roll for initiative. 4. we get to go first. No, so Naplam steps forward, swings his Zweihander, and... Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Let me put it like this. We just got a natural 1. Natural 1s in BORG. Okay, sorry, there's like... I accidentally drew something there. But natural 1s in BORG basically mean your weapon breaks. His Zweihander, which is his most valued weapon. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna re-roll it. I'm gonna use an omen. I'm gonna re-roll that. Okay. Reroll, reroll, reroll. Let's go. Does he hit it? He does. He hits it. And he does enough damage to kill it because it only has 1 health. But we're gonna see how much damage he does anyway. He does it. Kills it. And... Okay. How much food does that give them? I'm gonna say D4. D4 amount of food. Actually, no, it's D4. Let's say D4 plus 2 because it's a parent of the birds, right? So D4 plus 2. You get 4 rations. Thank God, at least some luck coming our way. So each of them gets 2 rations. Okay. And I think at this point Rebar is going to use one of the rations. And it's a 50-50 chance on whether he's able to get a good night's sleep finally after all of that. So let's see if he does. He does not. I think he is way too shaken. The Dredgehog, the depth, now this fucking bird. No, he's not gonna get good sleep. It's not gonna be terrible. Because he's got full hit points and full omens. But he still has to use the ration, he still has to sleep. And it wasn't good sleep. And I think at this point, where they're moving again forwards, and they're getting very, very, very close to Graven-Tosk. So, what do we find in this next area? But firstly, we need to roll for the weather. So let's roll for the weather. Let's see here. D12. That's an 8. Soup thick mist is so hard to see. It's so foggy, it's so hard to see anything in ahead of them, and it's just this road of white. So what do they find on this road? Let's roll D20. 6. Oh! Okay. They find a group of NPCs. Where do they find this group of NPCs? 5, 7, 8. 5, 7, 8. A desolate pit. And the discovery is some tracks. Okay, so there's a desolate pit with some tracks. What kind of NPCs do they find? And how many? Okay. Alchemist, chemist, herbalist. How many of them are there? They said this D6, so roll that. So they find a group of 3 alchemists basically. And the alchemists are kind of in a pit, and they don't seem to be trapped. They seem to have like come down there with a rope, and they seem to be examining some kind of tracks of some kind. So we hail them and we say, what are you doing down there? And they kind of like say, these tracks is not like something we've seen before. It's kind of strange actually. And I mean, we don't really care at this point. We're like, I mean, why do you care about this? And they're like, we're alchemists. We kind of need to know about like what kind of stuff we can use for our potions, and we're always interested in new specimens to acquire. And I think we're not too bothered by these alchemists, but the question is, do they have any initial reaction towards us? I think I should have actually rolled that before I went through all that, but let's actually see. Do they have any reaction towards us? I should have rolled that first. What's the reaction? 3 and 5. So they're indifferent, so that will have happened anyway. So they're quite indifferent towards us. They don't really care either way what we're doing. We asked them maybe for some directions to Graven-Tosk, possibly to, you know, make our journey faster. Are they able to help us? Well, they are examining a pit, they have rope, they probably know the forest pretty well. It's almost a sure thing that they know where Graven-Tosk is, but are they willing to help us? I'm gonna say strong hit. They're gonna just help us without any requirement for reward. Weak hit, they're gonna require something from us, maybe silver, maybe something else. And failure, they're not gonna bother helping us at all, or they're gonna require a bigger reward, maybe. Alright, let's roll that. So present move, let's see. And I think Naplam is gonna try to do this. Okay, it's a weak hit. They say yes, we can tell you where Graven-Tosk is, and we can give you a shortcut for a price. I see your silver pouch seems quite heavy, my friend. And it's true, Naplam has 107 silver. Perhaps you'll be interested in buying something of ours. Not for a discount or anything, but you know, maybe if you buy something from us, maybe we'll help you. And Naplam really doesn't care about this, but he's like, alright, what do you have for sale? So we'll see what they actually have. Let's go to the shop. And I believe they do have either some poison or what else is there? I'm gonna say that they have some poisons that they have stocked up, and they believe that that'll be of use to us. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. So we have some poisons that may be of interest to you. Do they mark up the price because they know that we're asking for a favor? I'm gonna say they don't, because we got weak hit, we didn't get failure. If we got failure, maybe they'll mark up the price. So they basically are selling poison black and poison red. I think we're just gonna buy we're gonna buy one poison red and one poison black. Let's go with that. And I'm gonna do it like this. And poison red. This is for presents. Yeah, this it uses presents to throw, I think. So we're gonna give the black to Naplam and the red to Rebar. And I think yeah, I think it's gonna go down by 40, so it's gonna be 67 silver. Alright. Alright, we bought your fucking chemicals. Where's Graven-Tosk? So they tell us where Graven-Tosk is, and we're able to skip this extra step here. And the next place we move to is Graven-Tosk. Before that, we need to camp, of course. And it's this huge mist. Imagine these two people just camped out in the middle of nowhere, just covered with this immense fog, knowing that the next day they're gonna have to hit into some kind of ruins that they don't know about, for these women with black eyes that they also don't know, just so that they can clear the depth and to get rid of this giant bulge. This giant bulge, which to this day haunts him, and to this day he hasn't revealed to anybody what the bulge says to him, but it isn't pretty. It isn't nice, and it doesn't allow him to sleep properly. Gives him constant nightmares. So even when he's well rested, he wakes up like in cold sweat. So, let's do a final camp. And the next move after that will be going to Graven-Tosk. So, let's treat this camping move as kind of like a luck check of sorts. Let's see if they're able to do well on it. Let's see, camping move, there we go, oops. Okay, so we're gonna do a DR9 presence check, DR12 presence check, sorry, 2d20, okay, let's see. Oh my, okay, yeah. Naplam sleeps just fine, for once. He's able to sleep just fine. At least for him. He's still gonna wake up in cold sweat and then having nightmares, but he's at least going to have some rest. And he's at least going to increase his omens. So there's that, you know. Small victories. However, he's not gonna have any more food in this slot. How about Rebar? What does he get? I think Rebar hasn't been able to sleep uninterrupted for what, 3 nights in a row? So, something bad happens. And I think this time, it's not an animal. It's not some Dredgehog, it's not some bird. What happens to him is a vision. A vision of some sort. What is this vision that he sees right before they are about to go into these ruins? Let's see. Poor Rebar is right, yeah. I agree. What do they see for? Okay. He sees in his mind's eye a pregnant bull. He sees a pregnant bull and a howling lamb screaming at each other. And he remembers the woman with the black eyes telling him, "You must go and find the howling lamb. You must find the howling lamb and enter the ruins." But in his dream, the pregnant bull absolutely slaughters the howling lamb. He wakes up in a shock, covered in cold sweat, and he has the option to go back and sleep again. He has the option to try that. But I think he doesn't. I think that night, he spends staring into the campfire that they made. Staring into the campfire and wondering, what is this howling lamb? What is this howling lamb? Why was it killed? And what does that mean for us going forwards? How are we gonna find these ruins? And are we going to die? And I think that's that for this session. I think we're actually going to call it for this session. The next session we're going to go into the actual ruins, if they can find it within Graven-Tosk. We're going to enter the ruins, and we're going to find out what this howling lamb business is. So thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.